You can sing this next song about anything at all.
Welcome, any and all, to the Friday edition of Dreaming in Paradox. I'm your host, John Olson.
And I'm your host, Jose Venutolo.
And joining us this Friday is Keith Nolan.
Hello.
You may notice that only Baymax is to my right. John had things to do, places to be.
Because he's a busy producer.
He's a
And that's what happens, you know, like they have to leave at a certain
He
time.
just
they
hated
leave
us.
He hated us.
And
That's
he
the
wanted
truth.
to
That's the
run.
truth. He hated us.
We got into a
Yeah.
big
He hated
fight.
the whole thing. Yeah,
He wasn't getting
punching.
paid.
Yeah, no.
He was like, what?
He wasn't getting his union
No,
rates.
He found out.
It was awful. It was
So-
awful. It was gory.
And so he ditched.
Mhm.
He ditched the show.
He just left.
So if you're coming in on this Friday, we thank you. This will be our last episode for a little while. We are going to go temporarily dark for hopefully not too long. A couple of weeks maybe. We need to get some things in order. So I just want to address it here on the show. We'll put up a little bit of promo when we're coming back. We will have a proper website, a proper Facebook page.
Correct.
And it's going to be a little bit of a change up. It's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
We will still have video content. We will still have iTunes content. I don't want to get into specifics here because we still need to hash out some of the details. But for all intents and purposes, this is our last episode of the show as it is.
Yes.
So thank you, Keith, for being here.
I'm glad I was here before it got good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very
good.
We'll have you back.
I was the last of phase A, you know. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
so everything is phases, you know, like
when we
yeah.
head
it's
into
like a
phase-
rocket. You know, a
we head
rocket.
into phase B2.
Stage
It
one.
takes one of the stages down and it just goes into the atmosphere and it burns, but it serves its purpose.
But it serves its
But it
purpose.
serves its purpose. It elevated
We're going
everything
out
to
with
the
a bang.
skies.
We're going out with a bang.
We're
This
going
has
to
been-
conquer the universe.
This has been a very enlightening experience.
It has been. I've enjoyed every single moment of it.
Yeah, I haven't been in front of the camera for
I'm loving
a
it.
long time. Like I
I
did
am
a little
freaking
bit.
loving it.
The last time I was in front of the camera was like
When you play the dead body for me.
no, it's not true. I played Dead by Few. Actually, I was a green screen monster
You were.
in a friend of ours, our friend Emery Chichek, who today in real time is screening his first feature film at Screamfest.
Really?
In Los Angeles.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nachie, I believe, is the. I'm gonna.
I've seen the trailer. I've
I'm
seen the
gonna
trailer.
double-check
Yes,
that.
that is true.
Yeah,
That's true.
I hope
Emre
I'm
Çiçek.
pronouncing it right.
Turkish super dude.
It is Turkish.
He is my lollipop.
But he did a short horror film just before he left New York, like literally days before he left, and I was in a green screen suit and I played the monster.
Nice, very nice.
That was the last time I was in front of the camera, and that was a couple of years ago.
Very good.
There you go.
But anyway, we got in this to be behind the camera, and
And we'll be.
and now
we'll
we're in front a little bit.
because
It's been
life,
an
you
Well, if
experience.
you want something done right.
life takes
You got to
you
yes, sometimes
places.
you got to do it yourself.
You
Yeah.
know.
And I feel like we've learned a lot about how to conduct ourselves.
Oh, definitely. I mean, how to direct actors. I mean, it's like I enjoy both. Like I have to say right now, I enjoy both.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I want to be behind the camera, but I want to also make it part of
It's
my
fun.
professional life to be in front of the camera. I have
Yeah.
things to say, places to be.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
things to represent.
countries to
Speaking of
conquer.
representing, I wanna show off this little item we've got. So today we have a guest slate. We usually Baymax here has a little slate on him, and it's the slate that we slate with. Today we slated with this prototype. You want to tell us a little about this?
Yeah, it's something I'm going to start making for specific people. I'm not going to. It's not. It's going to be It's all handmade, so it's all per order.
So
And,
for anyone listening, this is a solid metal
Yeah, it's made out of
Slate.
steel.
with wood clappers,
Yes,
and it has this nice ring to it. Let's see if we can catch it.
possibly. Well, yeah,
So
it has
maybe-
a
so
little ring. That's
it
how
has
you
a little-
know it's
It
real.
has a little ring, yeah.
Um,
It's pretty.
Kind of vibrates, and it's like
Yeah.
a little vibration
it's
sound
like a
at the end of it.
ching.
Mhm. Chicking.
We're gonna. It's a little heavy right now. We're gonna make it smaller, lighter, faster. Put a magnet in it so that the clapper doesn't bounce. We're gonna put some LED lights on it so you can see it at night.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a coating you can put on steel where you can use neon dry erase markers.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, it just takes like 3 months to cure, and
Oh wow.
so yeah, it's
a process.
It is a process, but we're thinking about for making them custom, because a lot of directors after they're done with a feature or something, they want to keep the slate, and we could also do custom clapper designs. So
Yeah, so here on the wood part,
Yeah,
we
we
could
w-
do like say the name of the film.
yeah, we
maybe,
could do
or-
the production name on the actual clapper. That'd be cool. We could do whatever, anything, and that's really
I
what
think
we're
it's pretty
offering
cool.
is a custom slate that's rugged, and it'll last forever, and it's not made out of acrylic and particle board. It's made out of pine and steel. So it's kind of like a hipster slate.
It's a hipster,
I like
right? It needs a
order
beer.
now.
the hipster slate.
It needs
Yeah,
a
it needs
beer,
a beer.
Fedora.
and it needs to be drinking like one of those breweries that are like
No, it's
they
got to
brew
be
in
an
the back.
espresso.
Yeah,
Something like
Drinking an
that.
espresso, wearing a fedora.
yeah.
And
No one else has it.
only for $35,000. It's
Yeah.
like it's a steal. It's a steal.
It's the same price as the throne,
Your
the
entire
Iron
production.
Throne on thisiswhyimbroke.com.
Iron Throne. They sell a like a wall sticker that looks like the Iron Throne
Nice.
for your toilet.
Oh, that's great.
And I love that. I kind of want to get
Oh
one.
really?
Yeah, if I owned this place and wasn't renting, maybe I'd get it. Although I did this.
Yeah.
without.
Yeah.
You've already opened up that cookie jar.
Yeah, it's very true.
Cookie jar.
I think
I
that
don't
sometimes
talk
I
like
look at
that.
this and I go like, it's gonna be a lot of work painting over this. I'm gonna have to do like 3 coats
Yeah, you're gonna have to like
of paint to get
go
over it,
white and
and
yeah.
then let it dry.
Isn't
and
there a
then
way
white
to
again.
peel things? Can you just peel it?
No, I can't peel it.
No.
What part of town
This
is
is-
that? Is that Midtown?
What's that?
Is that Midtown?
This is fictional town.
Ah.
Fictional
I
town.
just kind of made it does kind
You
of
need to
resemble
put
New York.
on more things. You need
So
to put
like
like
this downtown,
superheroes.
and this is kind of the heights over here,
Yeah, it
and like
does feel like Brooklyn.
that's our
and
bridge.
stuff.
Yeah, so it's vaguely.
You need
It's
to
New
put
York inspired.
You need to
for
put
sure.
superheroes. You need to put like a giant monster.
Yeah,
you need to
do
put
more
like
shit.
you need to like animate
Yeah,
it.
You
and
definitely
make it,
need
like,
King Kong at the top of that tall
Something.
building.
Well,
with
yeah,
a
I'm
bunch of little
thinking that
airplanes.
like our lease is coming up for renewal, so like we'll be hitting the 1-year anniversary, so I might do 2.0.
Nice.
And I haven't tried.
2.0.
I've been debating a couple things. Maybe you guys can help me out. So one of them is monsters.
Mhm.
Is doing like some kind of a monster in like a
Cthulhu.
slightly lighter shade than this, so that it looks like it's in the background, kind of like.
Need to put Cthulhu in there.
Or I was thinking of doing like a sci-fi thing with like
Why not
tracks
both?
of maybe flying cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd
you
be
could do-
or
you
like
could do a
just
lot.
things in the sky, like adding
Make it
some-
look like
You
the
should
Fifth
think
Element.
that, or like even adding like just another layer
Buildings.
of buildings, either to the front and to the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Because I could just do them in different shades and it'll look
Yeah,
like
exactly.
atmosphere.
You should pick things from movies that you would like them
Yeah.
to be.
Well,
a
I
reality
figure I
and
want to
put
do
them
it
there.
incrementally. So like this year I'll add like a layer to it,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe if we're
Next
here
year.
another year, I'll
Yeah,
add
that's
a
the thing.
third
It's like
layer.
how many years you gonna live here?
I don't know.
Like,
like
one
life-
day we're
it's
gonna see
life
this thing
art.
and it's like full of stuff, and then you're gonna have like a big beer, and he's like,
Yeah.
"How long have you been
It's
here?"
not stabilized.
And you're gonna take a
35
picture of it in
100
each
years.
stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
I took pictures of it as I was painting it,
Oh,
so I
sweet.
have like a little bit of a record
He
of
has
it.
the stages.
Cool.
So what is happening
you,
today?
You had some stuff that you wanted to bring up. We were
Yes.
gonna talk about. We
Yeah.
started hitting on this last.
Yeah, we've been
episode,
waiting for this
and we
all
kinda-
week.
We kind of veered away from it.
He's
a
been
little bit.
waiting for this.
I didn't
whole
realize
week.
John was gonna have to leave. I thought he would have some stuff to say about it.
He might, but you know. He
Well,
can-
whatever.
Jose's seen. I made Jose watch.
I watch a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So kick us off.
Okay. Well, basically, it's called Ancient Aliens.
Ancient
Aliens.
Yes.
I pass this show on Netflix all the time.
Okay, it's
You
it's
should
worth,
watch it.
It's worth it because if you either think it's interesting or you think it's hilarious.
My dad
but you
was
don't
telling
hate it.
me
Yeah.
that like about it. and,
Yeah,
like,
you don't get bored by it.
Yeah.
Basically,
bored by
the
it.
theory is that the reason humans evolved so quickly and differently than all other animals is because we were, our DNA was spliced by ancient astronauts, and
yeah, okay.
and they gave us
It kickstarted
intelligence and the ability to build things because there's a couple theories that maybe we worked for them as slaves. And then when they got whatever they were getting, they
This
left.
is like a whole series of.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's hours and hours and hours of like theory, and I like it because it kind of gives I'm a lost soul, And I was looking for a reason for my existence, and this kind of gives a little bit of something new to think about, because up to this point it was either you believe in the big one or you don't. You're either an atheist or you're a theist, and that's just annoying. So this gives a new thing that you can think about.
It's a third choice.
Yeah, it's a third
party.
choice. Yes, and I think most people agree that the universe is too big for one habitable planet, and I don't know.
Just
The
like
whole Egyptian thing is
statistically,
cool.
it seems very unlikely.
Yeah.
Very unlikely
Oh, really,
that there is
the
no
only
like.
one? You know.
Not only the only one, that it's like there's probably been millions of other before us. Like it's eons, the freaking universe.
And imagine if we become so technologically advanced that we can visit other planets and we see, the beginnings of a new race. We might do the same thing. We might GMO them, and
Yeah, but are we going to GMO them and then just leave?
Bold.
maybe it depends.
Who knows?
That doesn't seem like a very human way to handle things.
By
No,
then
I mean,
we
not-
might be
not by
mostly
now.
robots.
Not now.
It's
but,
true.
you know.
We might be more advanced.
But like there is some
Just brains in cases
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
there
like-
is some legacy on just doing something and not having to own it. Like we could just go to another planet and say like we don't need this planet right now, but we're gonna plant the seed of life or intelligent life or something, and then just let it be whatever it could be, and then
Or they could
it's-
still be watching.
like they could
true.
it's
We might just
We're
wait.
just
It's
not
so
advanced
possible.
enough
The
to
interesting thing.
interact with them.
The interesting thing that you mentioned is like either you said that you believe in the big one or you believe in evolution, but the fact that there is other races out there, it doesn't eliminate neither evolution nor the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could say you can like
The
I
big
will
one?
love
That's what this
the
big
big the
one-
big
So
one
Why
is
won't you say I was
because we said like 2 episodes ago that
Yeah,
we
no,
were gonna
I
use the
remember
big
on-
one as
on Monday we came up with the big one.
yeah.
And I've never heard this. They're like,
Well, you can't
you
say
don't want to say God.
you can't say God on the internet. No, I'm just
Yes,
kidding.
you
You
can.
can. You can. It was
We
a
are.
joke. It was
You
a
get
joke.
sued.
No, I
It's not
know,
too
but
far.
like,
But I like the
it
big
seems
one.
like a thing. Because like, what's funny is that like the word damn
Uh-huh.
is acceptable, but the word goddamn will
Yeah.
get bleeped.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
really?
That's
Yeah, like on
blasphemy.
television. Yeah, it's blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
And they beep the God part, not the damn part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like God then becomes
A
curse
bleepable
word.
offense.
yeah, exactly.
God
Admittable
becomes a
offense.
curse word. That's awesome.
An
God can be
explicative.
anything he wants. It wants.
Yeah.
It can be if he wants. It can be he wants to be a curse word. He can. Why not? He'll be like, I'm now
Who
a
are
curse
we
word.
to stop God?
Who are we
Being
to
a
stop God? It's like
God,
not being a
if God
curse
wants to be a
word.
curse word.
I think that if you are a believer on God and you believe that everything comes and is connected to Him or it, I need to train myself to just like there is actually nothing in the universe that is not God. Like even if it's something you don't like,
Yeah, it's
it
like the
is
force.
God.
It's like
It
the
is
force.
still-
if it's responsible for everything, then
Exactly.
it's responsible for all
That's
the
why
bad
when
things.
people say, like, oh, the devil is evil. It's like, who the freaking you think created the devil? Like,
Yeah.
he might have not make it
Yeah.
what it is, but it's directly
There's a
created from it.
logical paradox.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going back to polytheism. I was watching
Polytheism.
Alexander the other day, and I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind, having a god for everything. Like Apollo, and
Yeah.
why not? Just,
In Norway, they've started like a new version of the Nordic gods.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it's like a hipster version. Maybe
Cool.
not hipster, but actually more hippie version.
He would know
Of
because
them.
he has Norwegian in him.
Yeah. Yeah, these are my people, the Nordic
This is his
people.
people.
I'm 3/4 Scandinavian.
3/4 Scandinavian. That's a lot of
Wow,
Scandinavian.
that
It's a lot of Scandinavians.
It's a lot of Scandinavian.
And there's like a small group of people who've started sort of like not directly worshiping, but they
Kinda dwelling
they
into
use
it.
the different gods, the Nordic gods, to represent different things, and it's like a new interpretation of it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Well, I mean, I'm
Going back to polytheism.
I'm gonna mention
as a
something.
way of just like saying that like these are the aspects of our reality,
Yeah.
and like
Because you got to believe in something.
Well, I wanna just mention something. I just came
unless
back
you're
from
a
a,
nihilist.
Yeah. Well, some people like I love the atheists that are evangelical atheists. They try to spread atheism
Yeah,
and they try to
like
convert.
as if it's a religion.
yeah.
like
it's-
Penn
I
Jillette,
know,
or
I know.
who's
It's
like
hilarious.
super pro
Yeah.
atheism.
Yeah, it's just it's that comes from a place of hate, and it's just retarded.
I think it comes from a place of
you can't say
frustration.
retarded on the internet.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I don't
You can't say
appreciate
what? Hey,
retarded on the internet.
but if he's
it. You shouldn't. I feel like anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Not just saying that, right?
no, but you can use it as a statement, and not directed to a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except that if you're calling, like, here's why it's bad, right? If you're calling something retarded, then it's a derogatory.
Yeah, you're saying being
an insult.
retarded is
and so it's saying it's equating
that
it's
retarded
like-
people are less than,
exactly.
which they aren't.
They're still people.
I mean, I don't know.
Right?
If you want to just disassociate the word from the people, then you can still use it because
But
it
you
doesn't
kind of
refer to the
can't.
people
You
anymore.
can't.
Oh, you mean like my bike is retarded?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like oh, this
Except
is retarded.
that,
Like
it doesn't dissociate that.
Yeah.
oh, but only because we're choosing not to.
No, because that's what the word
Like
means.
then the,
the word has
then the word
a
is lost.
meaning.
It's just lost by PCs.
and it's been used negatively so much. That
it's
like
just
now
crazy.
it's
Like
taboo.
PC is so good, but it's just like taking away things from
It takes
everybody.
more energy to be PC, and it you got to really like to have to watch everything you say. Kind of,
It can be
It's
tiresome.
annoying. It's
It can be
annoying.
tiresome.
It's
Yeah,
annoying.
I
It's
agree.
annoying.
And
It's
of
like
course
it cercenates your freedom.
yeah,
You know, one thing is when you
But it's not
act
just
on
about
it.
freedom. It's about like
respect.
yeah, it's about respect and about sort of being the decency that you want to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'll
Like
tell
you don't want someone using Venezuelans as an insult,
True.
right?
This
It's the
shit
same
is,
idea.
This shit is Venezuelan as fuck.
I know, man.
I hate
Yeah.
this thing.
This thing is so
It's so
Venezuelan.
Venezuelan. I am so
Right?
Like, I don't
Like
know.
that's I feel like people just have trouble relating it to themselves. Like you need a little empathy in order to be PC. Like PC is not a bad thing, and the fact that people try to make it a bad thing is just like it's lazy. Because it is like
I
you
don't know.
say,
It's
more
just. It's
effort.
just. I think it's just exaggerated at this point. They're just exaggerating. a
Well,
lot
you
of
can take things too far, and people.
Yeah, some people
do.
are overly sensitive to the point where they're looking for you to say something wrong.
But it's like
Yeah.
it's like I mean, ever since I moved to this country, like you get the sense that people are just waiting for the chance to get offended in order to just say it.
exactly.
You know, and it's like you are already predisposed to that. You go out in the street waiting for somebody to say "you people" for you to go and say, "What do you mean, you people?" Or you know, like it's you know, like it's predisposed to be offended. So anything that a person says could be twisted, spin it, and then so you can have the right to go like, "What do you mean by saying that?"
So you
It's
have
like-
to choose
don't
your
know.
level of participation.
Yeah.
I choose. You know, I clearly pick and choose the things I'm politically correct about. I think I'm more politically correct than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Actually,
You are.
I'm pretty careful.
You are.
I just think about like what is insensitive, and like I'm sure not everything I say is sensitive to everybody.
Usually everything
but-
we think about is insensitive, and you have to filter it.
Yeah.
And you can get better with practice. But I mean, I think if you could read people's thoughts, it would be a nasty, nasty place.
Sure.
Yes.
You know, it's just some people choose not to say things, and freedom is
But
just
like
being
you
able
can
to say
have you can have a negative opinion and not express that negatively.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you could.
Like I'm an atheist, right? I really don't harp on it to anybody,
Mhm.
and I never like to insult anybody who believes in
it.
God.
Yeah, you should really check out this ancient astronaut theory. I really think you'd like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The ancient aliens.
Well, it's cool because it ties into the
I
Egyptians.
do love a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
It is all about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I
love
It's
a good
just,
conspiracy
They just
theory.
take anything from the
I don't
ancient
take
world
any of them seriously
and link it to
but
aliens.
Because
And they
there's
have this
so-
thing. That, what's the guy does? He looks at the camera. It's
forget.
like maybe
The guy
be,
with the crazy
I don't
hair.
know. Like you know, like he's explaining something, and he goes like, I don't know. It may be aliens.
Everything comes back to aliens. He's like, and
everything.
that
Everything. These people tie
simply
aliens
means that
to
it's
Egypt.
aliens.
Yeah, he said they tie it to Egyptians. They tie it to Mayans. They tie it to like Northern or like they tie it to the Nazis. They tie it to everything.
Yeah.
Well, like when it comes to conspiracy theories, there's a lot of things in our world that are very open-ended that we don't have answers
Yeah.
to, and you can come up with conspiracies, which many people do, to fill in that void. I just sort of admit that I don't know.
Yeah. So you're agnostic.
Basically, yeah.
like
like when it comes
agnostics.
to like
'Cause
9/11,
atheists-
like 9/11 conspiracy theories. I'm like, all right, there's enough openness that like you could be right. There could be a conspiracy here. but there isn't like hard proof.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to believe it
Yeah.
any more than I'm going to like. I'm just going to be like, okay, it's somewhat open.
It's just atheists are sure there's no God, and theists are sure there is a God, and I feel like both are kind of a little bit too
Extremist,
absolute.
yeah.
You know,
I've always been like, well, if there's a God, and I find out someday.
Well, I just think
Okay.
it's important to be a good person.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need
I don't
a
know that it's
reason to be a
important.
good person. I don't, but
Yeah. This is like the Isaac Asimov argument for atheists, because he was an atheist and he was like, I still know right from wrong.
yeah.
I don't need a religion to tell me.
However, sometimes religion is good for people. You know,
Absolutely.
People
it's
who
done a lot of good for people.
Yeah. So you can't. It's just I don't know. It's tough because it's all things in moderation, even religion. You know, and you've got your evangelicals that spend millions of dollars on crosses, and then you've got these other churches that actually go out and help the community. Usually, it's the mega churches that end up being so big that they're more concerned with feeding and sheltering their congregation
That
rather than the
organization, yeah.
world. But yeah, it's just I once held a position that I wanted to tax churches because of all the money, but a problem with that is that I realized that the separation of church and state goes both ways. You know what I mean? We think
Yeah.
that it's to protect us from the churches, but it's also to protect the churches from the government.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that if you let the nose of the camel into the tent, the body is soon to follow. You know, so you can't
Yeah.
tax them just a little bit. You've got to tax them a lot, and then you completely eliminate that separation, and then
Because it's intrusive. It's
yeah,
intrusive.
it is intrusive. And then I mean, of course, they're considered nonprofit.
Yeah, but the problem is that
I mean,
it goes.
the problem is that people
It goes
can take
only one
advantage
way.
of anything.
It goes only one way because you have the thing with Cain Davis where clearly religion is stepping into government issues.
Well, see, that's wrong, and she went to jail for it. You know.
yeah, but she
So-
didn't stay there.
No, but
and they can't fire her.
yeah,
And they
that's
can't
just, that's
fire,
a
so
weird
But
that's
situation.
like-
But it's an intrusion.
That's
a
one
loophole.
issue. That's
But that's
one
a
issue
loophole.
out of the whole country. That's
Yeah.
one person. You know what I mean?
But it's brought to attention. Like
Yeah.
they're giving it a spot.
Uh-huh.
They're making it a big deal. So then something it trickles down to all the other things. Like
it might give them some
it's-
ideas,
it
but it's
becomes
still
a crusade.
illegal.
You know, like
Yeah.
that. It
I
becomes
mean,
a
there
crusade.
are a lot of people who use the guise of religion to like take advantage of people, and like that's really messed up. And it'd be nice if there
Oh,
was
like
a
when
way-
you can buy a condo in heaven or something. I saw this telethon where this
Yeah.
guy you give him $500 and he'll save you a spot like in
They
a
can do all
condo
kinds of
in heaven.
scams.
And,
There
yeah.
was a really good John Oliver bit about these churches who do this thing where you like give them seed money, and you're seeding
Yeah.
money like you're giving it essentially to quote unquote charity,
yeah.
but they never say that. And like they can just take your money and then they like keep prodding you to give more and more, and you're seeding like your place in heaven essentially.
Well, that's a
And like that's legal, and it's really like pulling the wool over people. And, like stuff like that is wrong, and you wish that you could somehow
Yeah.
legislate that and stop people from doing it. But like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
You know.
you know what a plenary indulgence is.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean,
you
this
absolve
is
sins.
yeah, but you do it by paying for it. It was
They charge you for
it was instituted by I think it was by
It's got to be a pope, right? It's a
yeah
Catholic
the
thing.
Pope the one that they make the TV series about.
The Borgias.
The Borgias.
I don't
think
think
it
that's
was,
true.
I think it was
No,
by the
that's not
Borgias.
true.
And
I've read a lot about the Borgias.
and
I
basically
don't
what
think
is
that's true.
and basically what it says is that you could pay the church to get rid of your sins.
Yeah.
And then people, and they will charge a lot of money. People will just save money to buy a plenary indulgence for their kids and all that stuff, and that's the way they get money to fight crusades and all that stuff. But but
I think
does
it's
it
older.
wo-
I think it's, by the way, I
it
think it's
was
older than
it
the
was
Borgias.
it was I mean maybe the Borgias brought it back.
I think it's
maybe
older.
it was an ancient practice and they brought it back. But based to my knowledge of Roman Catholic, when in my knowledge of Roman Catholic, like one of the things that God said to them was like God said to or Christ said to Peter was like whatever you tie on earth will tie on heaven, basically saying we're giving you the permission to make deals in our name and we will abide and by it. So technically a plenary indulgence would actually work. You could buy your way into heaven because the Pope said you could.
It's
So,
like when they would
it's
put
crazy. It
coins
actually
on the
works.
dead people's eyes so they would
Yeah.
have the money,
Money
to
for the
pass.
boatman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
crazy.
All that, the Catholic Church is. I don't know. It's just funny how a lot of Protestants left the Catholic Church for the same reasons that I don't know. It's just really history repeats itself
Yeah,
all the time,
absolutely.
and it's doing it right now, and it's frustrating. But what hasn't repeated itself is Ancient Aliens. I actually have another theory.
Why have they abandoned us?
Yeah, why they need to come back and
Oh,
just
they
set
have
the
not
they need
abandoned
to
us.
set the record straight. But
They didn't
before we
abandon
wrap up, I think
We can go a little longer.
okay. There's
It's our
another.
last episode.
Okay,
I'll
there's
allow it.
There's another couple of theories. There's a good documentary called "How Beer Saved the World," and it talks about how beer is the reason why we started being agriculture-based beings, and also it helped us survive all the plagues because you could drink beer and it would kill all the bacteria. You know what I mean, and wine and stuff like that.
Oh,
So it helped us survive through all these really hard times in human evolution. There's also the theory that while we were chasing like the herds across the Bering Strait, we found magic mushrooms, and that's one of the reasons why we began using tools and things like that. Like we were thinking outside of the box. But I think that other animals eat like magic mushrooms too, so they didn't evolve like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple different
But
theories.
like,
I love myself a magic mushroom.
but we were sufficient.
Yeah.
I think the idea
We have
is
the
that we
right
were
bodies.
sufficiently advanced enough
Uh-huh.
for like it to be a
Yeah.
kickstart.
Yeah,
Because like, chimps are on the border,
they can use iPads.
right? Like they know how to do shit.
Yeah.
Like they're on the border. They're starting to use rudimentary tools, like on their own. Like they know how to use rudimentary tools. They use it for food.
Even bears use tools. There's a video of a bear washing himself with a rock.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And a crow, they did this thing.
Crows are
with-
really smart.
Yeah, they did a
actually.
thing with a crow where it was like a 4-part puzzle. It had to fly in,
I saw this.
there was like 3 different size sticks, and it had to use each stick for a particular puzzle to get to the end game, which was food, and it figured it out. And it's like something
That's
that,
crazy.
I was thinking of this.
I mean, crows can
I saw this
talk.
other thing.
Yeah.
It was a.
They say no
It
more.
was like a city project where they were training crows to pick up trash.
Wow.
So they had.
Really?
So they started with one phase where it was like they would put something in this machine and it would spit out food for them.
Wow.
And like then they just like slowly switched up what it would be, and like the crows would just figure it out.
Hmm.
They were really smart. And it was this project. It was like an experiment to try and see how they could use like the natural wildlife incorporated into the city.
I can see so many ways that can backfire.
Oh,
because,
sure.
Because if they just figure out that you just can throw something on here and get food, like you're gonna be like here, and they will just take your phone and go away.
The thing
You're
is,
just
like
They
they're
just have a pile of
they'll
phones
do what
in a
humans
nest.
would do, and they'll exploit it.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
Yes.
that's like what animals do. Like that's our animal nature to like take something and then exploit it to our advantage.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
It's actually a more human thing, I think, to be
I wanna
selfless.
Greedy.
What-
No, I think greedy is natural.
Really?
Greedy as animals are greedy as all hell.
Hmm.
Like they'll do anything to get more for themselves because that's what we're programmed to do. That's how we survive.
See, I've always thought
Hoarders.
that as soon as they get full, they go to sleep and they find something else. You know, they don't eat. Once they're full, they stop hunting and then they rest.
It depends on the animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they don't have ways of storing.
Yeah.
Like a predator doesn't have ways of storing meat
Yeah.
for later.
Uh-huh.
So like it has to do that. It has to
Mhm.
do it that way. But I think that like our greediness is part of our survival skills.
Yeah. So we just have the luxury of being able to, save stuff for later, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
We
We've figured out ways to preserve things so that we
Yeah.
can then hoard them. And I think that
hoarding's
it's
a
actually
problem.
I think it's actually a much more human thing in that like it's separate from animal nature to be selfless. Like you see it occasionally in nature, but I think it's much more common that things are into self-preservation.
mm-hmm.
And like when you can give of yourself, that's something more. Like it's something evolved.
Altruism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are there any games or anything on this Friday?
There's so much meat in this bone, but
Um,
we're right at 30.
Yeah.
Right at
We're at
30.
30. I mean, I didn't mind going long because it's our.
I know, but it's not making like an hour show.
Yeah, we don't need to keep going, I guess.
This was a
We're
fun
good. We
week.
can't-
Keith has been
keep
playing
talking.
with this.
I love this little baby China ball. It's the cutest thing I've seen.
It's like, how did
in
you
years.
use it? Like for what? For
Put a
like
Christmas
light
lights.
on it.
Christmas lights?
Yeah.
You could set a little tiny movie. Little.
I've had
little-
these strung up here in the house before.
So cute. I might take this.
Yeah,
Can I
I've
keep
seen
this?
it. You're right.
No?
right.
You have
it
like
goes with a set.
you're hoarding.
It goes with a set, though.
All right, fine.
I've only got
It's
as
so
many as
cute.
there are lights.
It is super cute. We're recording sound.
It's
That's good.
precious.
All right. I guess we'll wrap up.
So that's it.
It's been fun. We will return.
We will return. Bigger, better,
Not
stronger.
On Monday.
Next time I'll be on Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
most likely.
voice them in from, where are you from?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga's a great name.
We gotta go. We
Yeah.
gotta go.
Is there cool stuff to do in Chattanooga?
Yeah, there's tons of cool stuff. It's a very touristy place. We've got a barcade finally.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
so it's officially cool in my book.
Yeah.
There's a couple tourist attractions. We have the largest freshwater or saltwater aquarium in the southeast or something. I don't know. It's a bunch of. You could go down there and spend a weekend and have something to do every single day.
You have guns?
We have tons of guns.
Oh,
So many
nice.
guns.
So many guns.
Guns.
We have. You can. I hear
Let's
in
do
Vegas you can
guns.
pay $20 and throw a grenade. I kind of want to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
They have grenade ranges?
Yeah, they have grenade ranges in Vegas.
You knew anything in Vegas.
Oh
man.
my God! It's just like
I just want to make
I
something.
don't even
explode.
want to say anything
Are you
about
telling
that.
me you wouldn't do that?
I would do it, but I just don't. I just don't want. I don't want to. This is not. No.
I mean,
no.
it's literally
We're
like-
wrapping. We're wrapping the
It's
show.
just that.
We're wrapping the show.
Oh, you don't want to talk about guns?
I don't want to
Wanna
like
do
that.
gun?
No,
Yeah,
throwing a
as
gun
someone
like
from
no.
Tennessee, where are you on guns?
Huh?
As someone who lives in Tennessee, where do you land on guns?
I
issue?
think that they should be treated as like kind of like cars. You should have to pass a course. I don't think it's
yeah.
necessarily. There's certain guns that are family heirlooms, but so to get like an old rifle that your grandfather had, you shouldn't. That should be something inherent. But to be able to buy a brand new M16 out of the box, you should probably have to pass a safety course.
I think assault rifles should not be available to the public, personally.
Well,
Because there's no need for an assault rifle.
True, but there's still a faction of people who still believe the government might rise up against us.
Yeah, they're like, everybody's prepped for the apocalypse. Like, it's gonna...
Like if you're gonna be able to battle the government back.
Well,
like if
I
the
mean,
government rises
yeah, to
against
be
the
fair-
people, there goes the
To
people.
be fair, the Taliban is still in existence, so obviously our government can't take them out. You know what I mean? Like guerrilla warfare is
Well,
very
so,
effective.
yeah, but they are
Yeah.
militia. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel that the country
that's what we started out.
country could
I
do
just,
well
yeah, I feel
without
like
the
assault
people.
rifles is... I mean, we put out a lot of those assault rifles that the Taliban's using.
yeah, no, and that's
You
another
know?
thing. It's like you can't. There's so much money
I
in the
think in
gun
terms
industry.
of handguns, I do think like having to do a training course
Mhm.
seems
Something
like it
simple,
seems like a nice
something
compromise.
simple.
It's like have a license, and and the license requires you to actually get some knowledge about the weapon, gun safety.
Yeah.
Because like some people don't.
I've been driving
Then
for
you
a
can-
while, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't be driving, and they still get a driver's license.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
It's better than
anything
nothing,
to me.
man. Some quality control.
I don't know. Like if I had to do it, I'll split the difference between you two. I'll be like, you could have guns, but certain guns are just like too much.
well, that's what I'm saying. Is
Like, you
like
don't
I
need-
don't think assault rifles should be.
Yeah, like a pistol or something.
I
like
mean,
that. But anyway,
maybe not
guns are fun.
readily available to anybody, but I don't think you should ban. I don't know. I don't think you
It's
should ban
true.
anything. But at the same time, not everybody should have a pet tiger. You know what I mean? And you used to be able to buy pet tigers, and you could get them. But then in 2003, George Bush passed a law that you can't transport exotic animals over state lines, essentially killing that whole industry. Because, but that's a living thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's the analogy is that they're both dangerous. And they both require a lot of responsibility, and some people simply just don't have it.
And they're both essentially cool.
Yeah, they're
People
totally
want
cool.
things that-
Tigers and guns.
Tigers cool, right?
That just goes together like
Tigers and
freaking-
guns.
Yeah, like Harleys
That-
and leather.
I will watch that. We should write a movie.
Tigers
called
and
Tigers
Guns.
and Guns.
I want to make a movie with Free Sweargen about called The Poacher, and it's like a new hero that goes to Africa, and he's like a conservationist. He hunts poachers. He poaches poachers.
Poaches the poachers.
Yeah, he's called the Poacher, and
A
I think,
vigilante.
but he doesn't use any sort of weapons. He only uses things that animals would
That
have.
the animals use?
Yeah, so he
That's
can
great.
fly, he can claw, and he can bite. He has like this helmet that has a fucking thing. I think that'd be a really cool movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's make it. Let's make it happen.
All right, cool.
All right. Well,
Take
thank
us
you
up.
for joining us. You can hire Keith, who does good work.
Yep.
Over at
Have you seen all my films?
give it to us.
A1audiodesign.com.
Anyone audio design, we'll put it at the bottom. And you can find me, as always, on Twitter, at John and Paradox.
And you can find me on Twitter at Hossein Paradox. And before I go, Manuel Sarmiento, friend of mine, asked me to send,
There you go.
a hi to him. So hi to you, wherever you're in the United States. I don't remember, but I love you, miss you. Come visit. He just had a baby. Congratulations. And well, with that said, friends from the future, say goodbye.
We will
From the past.
return.
We will return.